I'd like to start by having everyone go back to a moment where you felt suddenly and completely overwhelmed. Maybe you were frustrated or stressed or confused. Maybe you were all of these things at once. Now imagine the feeling when somebody comes in to help. A family member, a friend, a partner. Maybe they come in to help lighten the load. Maybe they just come in to listen. Maybe they even share a similar story. Now, how big of a difference can just that make? I mean, isn't it interesting how having someone share in your story, even just for a moment, can seem to make a world of difference? Now let's turn this same idea over to our parents who have children who stutter. Now, just to make sure everyone is on the same page, stuttering is a communication disorder that involves interruptions in speech. It typically begins pretty suddenly at about 2 to 4 years of age after a period of typical development. And while about 75% of kids will grow out of it, the remaining 25% will likely stutter for the rest of their lives. The kicker is that we really don't have a good way to tell if a child is in the 75% or the 25%. And if this uncertainty isn't confusing and scary enough for parents, early stuttering can be extremely variable. You can go several days where it seems to have gone away, and then at the end of the week, it's back full force. It can be a roller coaster for these parents, and not the fun kind. This brings me to the first part of our study. We are interviewing parents with children who stutter to learn more about their experience. What were the thoughts and the feelings that came up when their child began to stutter and when they didn't grow out of it? Did they seek advice from family or the internet? Did they seek treatment, and what was that like? So let's backtrack for a moment back to our stressful situation and remember that feeling when someone came in to help. It's part 2 of our study, because along with looking at the overall experience of being a parent of a child who stutters, we want to look more specifically at these parents' experiences in support groups. Because we have plenty of research showing the influence of social support for other disorders, but we're shockingly quiet over here in the world of stuttering. And that's just really odd to me, because aren't both the parent and the child impacted by the stutter? And they're both typically involved in treatment, at least they should be. So why aren't we looking at how to support both? Well, that's why we're here. We can't make the stutter go away. We can't cure it. We can't make the roller coaster come to a stop. But we can work to at least try and give these parents a seatbelt to hold on to. Thank you.
Thank you, Katlyn. Tell us where you're from.
I'm from Denver, Colorado, but I did my undergraduate in St. Louis, Missouri, and then moved here because I was really tired of the humidity.
And what got you interested in this topic?
I got into the field and was really kind of unsure where I wanted to go because it's so broad. But then I took a class with Dr. Arenas, and I adored it, and I got interested in doing research, and he had a project, and I wanted to get in on it. And I've just sort of fallen deeper in love with it ever since.
Great. Thank you so much, Katlyn.